everyone, welcome to today's video. I wanted to do a fun little reading challenge, and the springtime always makes me think of romance and just makes me want to read a bunch of romance books. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna read just romance books for a week. I've got my iced coffee, I'm ready to go, and I have a few different picks that we're gonna try. So we'll start with a Tessa Bailey book. It's called Tools of Engagement. That's the first one. I already read it. So you'll see my thoughts and updates on that in just a minute here. And then I also have a whole series that I checked out from the library today that I'm going to show you. I'm just going to read a chapter or two. Hold me to that. Tell me why every single metaphor or simile in this book feels like a curveball. I gotta love the fact that this vlog is probably going to go from like me all made up for the intro to me in curlers in bed. We love that. But the first book that I'm reading for this reading romance for a week is Tools of Engagement by Tessa Bailey. I read the first two in this series. It's called the Hot and Hammered series. It's a very steamy I can't stop coughing. A steamy little romance series. This book follows characters that we know from the first two, but I think their story is the most fun of the three. I would say these books, they're not like the best written or anything, but they are really enjoyable. And so if you just need like a quick romance to read, I definitely recommend Tessa Bailey. But this series is the first I've read by her. So this book that I'm reading now, the third one, follows Bethany, who is Georgie's sister from the first book. So Bethany normally does the interior design and decorating for this renovation business, and she's kind of been put into a box with that where they think that's the only thing she's good at. So there's this new guy in town that we met in the other books who has just been hired by their company, and he's younger than her by I think 7 years, and he's a cowboy. He's always got his hat on, and they just have the best banter so far in this book, and I just love their dynamic, and they definitely have a strong physical attraction to each other. I would say if you don't like anything steamy, I wouldn't recommend Tessa Bailey, but I think she's super fun if you do like just a fun little steamy romance. Bethany's character journey is more about like getting over her perfectionism, which I really like. It's very relatable. She has a lot of anxiety. She's dealing with that. And then Wes is like trying to figure out his place in this small town. Anyway, it's really late and I need to get some sleep, so I'm just gonna read a chapter or two. Hold me to that, and then I'm gonna get some sleep. But yeah, I just wanted to give a quick update. Hello! There's not really a quiet place in my house right now. My husband's having Dungeons and Dragons, but I can't stop coughing. I did successfully only read a chapter last night before I went to bed. You should be very proud of me. That doesn't always happen. But I got to a part where there's a reality TV show involved in this book. That's all I'll say. And the tension is so good and they're so cute. And I'm just gonna keep reading tonight. I don't know if this is just like extreme toxic behavior on my part, but whenever the female main character is like, I can't do this, I'm insecure. Same. And the male main character comes up behind her, holds her, and is like, you can do this. But also is like, and? So you're insecure. do it anyway. That's my favorite thing in the whole wide world. I don't know what it is about that, but just when a guy is straight up with the girl, it's like my favorite thing ever. And that just happened in this book in the best way. And the chemistry is so good. Even though some of the like descriptions and stuff in this book are really clunky, and that's how I felt about the series, but the characters in this one I think are my favorite so far. One thing I just have to say is that Tessa Bailey's characters always really fall into gender stereotypes and norms. And that does bug me a little bit, to be completely honest. Like, it's one thing when the character genuinely, like, wants to be masculine or feminine, and that I don't have a problem with. But when they have, like, these, I'm a man, I can't help it. I'm a woman, this is how I am. I'm just like, is it though? You know, there's a little girl in this book because Wes is taking care of his niece. And I think it's the cutest thing in the world. Like, I think a little kid in a book, especially a romance book, can be done really well if they actually act like a little kid. So I think the conversations with the little girl and like figuring out how to take care of a little kid have been really cute and actually added to the book rather than like made me like, why is this here? I go to rant because I was gonna rant out loud anyway. And I pull out my camera and this is somehow happening. Anyway, why does Stephen in this book, the brother, have to be such a about everything? He's been driving me crazy since book 1 and I can't get over it. He's just so I'm like, I have good brothers and I'm grateful for them, and it makes me mad to see a misogynistic brother like this just treating his little sisters like little girls when they're all fully grown adults. Please. Oh, it's driving me crazy. Tell me why every single metaphor or simile in this book feels like a curveball. They're all just so out of pocket, and it's funny because it's like, yeah, I guess that does describe the feeling. I wouldn't have chosen that particular figure of speech, but okay. Like, so I think the writing style isn't exactly for me, and that's kind of what I've figured with this whole series. But it's just funny. It's like, it's also very literal sometimes, or like it over explains things. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but all I'll say is, what are the siblings in these books? What kind of siblings treat each other like this? Please. Okay, the siblings might be horrible to each other, but at least they're growing. They're working through. I know it's hard, but like, come on. Is it more valid that I don't like Stephen if I also don't like his wife, or does that make it worse? Because I've been thinking this for 3 books now. Oh my gosh. Oh, I really can't say what just happened. But Wes has a mouth on him, and I love it. Oh my gosh. Remember what I said about the metaphors and similes in this book? It's even better when it's a smut scene. Do you ever read a phrase and immediately want to erase it from your mind? Oh, yeah. This is reminding me why I knocked off some stars on the previous books in the series. And we get to the actual steamy scenes, and you're just like, why would you describe it like that? See, I complain about the cheesy moments, but then there's moments like this, and this is why I read the books and why I continued the series. Because he's like, Bethany, stop worrying about how you sound or how you're coming across to me. If you're being honest, it's always good. And that's like, the growth in relationships is really well done in this series. I finished Tools of Engagement. Honestly, it was really cute, and I really did like the ending. It was cute seeing all the characters together in this book after the other two, and just seeing how their lives still intertwine. The ending was really cute, so I'm gonna think about it and decide what I'll rate it and review it and stuff. But yeah, I need to get some sleep, but I will think on it, sleep on it, and decide my total thoughts. I was gonna update you on my final thoughts in the morning, but then I sat down and wrote a review, so apparently I already know what I think. You okay?
Yeah, I'm great.
I understand. I've been doing it too. Anyway, I decided it's a 3.5 stars overall. Anyway, I kind of talked about it in my updates throughout, but basically, I think Tessa Bailey does a really good job with writing characters and having them go through very real things and deal with like their struggles and insecurities and all of that. She does a good job of that while keeping a light tone, and her characters are really lovable, so I did get really attached to all of them. So it was really fun seeing all the characters from the whole series together in this book. But all of that being said, I do find her writing style not to I do find that her writing style isn't exactly my favorite. It just isn't my personal taste. I don't think it's bad by any means, but I just think that it can be a bit literal sometimes, and then when it's not, it just has those metaphors and similes that are just like, why would you make that exact comparison, or why would you describe it like that? And like I said, during some of the steamy scenes, it can be a little bit like, just why? So, with that being considered, it's just like not necessarily my favorite romance in the world. I've definitely read books that have steamy scenes that don't feel nearly as cringy for me, so that's like my sounding board to go off of, but I did enjoy my time reading it. So if you're looking for a lighthearted, steamy series that has some depth to it with some serious issues, but a lighthearted tone overall, I would recommend this series. It's the Hot and Hammered series. Hello, it is Wednesday night. I just got home from work and I am so sleepy, but so happy to be home and ready to read. The next book I'm going to read is Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. I have been wanting to read this for a while. I've heard Destiny and Sarah both talk about it quite a bit on their YouTube channels, and I am just curious. Like, I need to know what these books are. So I don't really know that much about them, but I've heard their conversations about them and I think I'll just enjoy it. So just gonna kind of go in with no expectations and just enjoy. The only thing I know is that both of them didn't like the third book as much as the other two. And I know the characters' names and which ones are in each book. So that's like all I know, but I'm just gonna go in kind of like zero expectations, just gonna have a good time. And I'm gonna get in my comfy clothes, take off my makeup, and just chill for the rest of the night. I have my popcorn, girl dinner. I'm gonna have ice cream later. I have my apple juice in a wine glass because I don't drink alcohol because of anxiety, but I love the vibe. It's so pretty to have it in a wine glass for no reason, just for fun. I have my water and, of course, my book. I just have to say already, immediate first impression, I love the writing style. I really need to get to bed. It just makes me sad because I want to keep reading. I'm 66 pages in on chapter 7, and I am just really liking the characters so far, and I'm really excited to get to know them. And this story is like not exactly what I was expecting. There's a little like 11-year-old girl involved, and I didn't expect that. It's kind of funny that both the book I read before and this one have a kid involved, when that's a trope that I see a lot of people don't like, but I think it's done well so far in this one. Basically, what I'm trying to say is I like that Naomi acts like an adult. Like, her life is in shambles, things are going crazy. There's a lot of like crazy, almost like negative stuff going on around her and in her life, but she's really like facing it and taking it in stride, and I like that. So I'm excited to kind of see where it goes. So far I feel like we've got like the grumpy love interest going on. I mean, he's not a love interest yet, but I hope that's what he's gonna be, you know? But yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. And I wish I didn't have to wake up early-ish for work tomorrow, but I do. So I'm gonna go to bed. I'll probably read another chapter or two, but I need to get some sleep. Happy, what is today? Thursday. I went to a local coffee shop and got a brown sugar latte, and it's delicious. Like, already just so good. So we're gonna enjoy this and read some books. So we both have the day off. Guess where that means we ended up? Barnes and Noble. Are you excited?
Yes.
I'm excited. I have my book and I have my husband and we're ready to have a nice little Barnes date. Found it. It's so beautiful. It's incredible. Look what we got. Book 1 and 2 of Magnolia Parks. I couldn't help it. I read the first one through Libby on my phone, and the second one has a several months wait on there. So I was like, I need the next one. So we got the first two, and after I read Daisy Hates, I'll decide if I'm gonna get the next one as well, and then I'll probably get the rest of the series. Okay, they're going to the public library, and the way this library is described, I want to go. It has soft instrumental music playing. It's light and airy and beautiful in there with nice armchairs and everything. There's a freaking coffee bar inside of the library. Also, first impression of Sloane is very good because, you know, she's a spunky librarian. That's all I know about her so far, and I like it. Like, she has red lipstick and blonde hair with pink in it and her blue glasses and a nose stud. I'm like, cute. Also, I love that Waylay is literally helping older patrons at the library with their Kindles and their phones because it's a need. I can imagine. I guess realized I haven't updated in a while, but I'm also very much enjoying the slow burn of what I'm hoping will be the romance, please. So Sloane just said that she pays Waylay in snacks and letting her check out double the number of books everyone else is allowed. I hope it's one of those libraries that doesn't let you check out many items. Because if it's like mine, and you can check out 20 items at a time, that means Waylay's checking out 40 items at a time. I don't know about that. I think this is my dream. She's describing this library, and she went to school for library science and public administration and created this library that has free classes on public resources, and they have a locker room and laundry facility. I'm like, yes, because a library is also a public resource, not just a place of books, though information and books should be accessible to everyone. And I just love that idea. Oh my gosh. I know it's fictional. I know it's a fantasy. I know that libraries are government-funded institutions for the most part in this country, but wow, do I wish I could just make this library a reality right now. Hello, it's Saturday, and I just got home from work, and I am so ready to relax with my book. I am 200 pages into Things We Never Got Over, and I am loving it. Like, the chokehold it suddenly has on me. I literally picked this book up because I've heard Sarah and Des talk about it and know that they love it, and I like the cover. And that was all I knew, and now I'm just obsessed. So I want to get a good chunk of this read tonight. I just ordered dinner, so I'm going to distract myself from being hungry until it gets here by reading this book and get comfy and be cozy and just read and play Animal Crossing tonight. That's all I want. It's the weekend, it's Saturday night, and tomorrow's Sunday, and I just want to relax this weekend because I need it. I've been working a lot, and after being sick, it just wears me out more, so just need to recuperate here. Happy Monday. I have a couple updates for you. So the first one is that I decided to delete the Instagram and TikTok and Facebook apps because I've been spending way too much time on those social media apps. So now I only have Pinterest, YouTube, and my blog, and I think I'm gonna keep it that way for a little while just for my own sanity and anxiety. My other update is that I did not want to stop reading this last night. I got to chapter 30 and I just want to keep reading. So I'm on my lunch break. I'm going to eat my food and then I think I might read for a little bit before I have to go back. I'm probably about to finish this book. I'm home from work for the day and I'm just so invested in the romance and I love the characters way more than I thought. Like, at the beginning I had no expectations and I just ended up really falling in love with them. So I'm excited to see how the story plays out, and I'll probably read the other two really quickly. This all started with me thinking, it's spring, I want a romance. Now I'm crying and having therapy with a book. Bonus epilogue. What? Oh! This epilogue put me through the ringer. Oh my gosh. What a book. I just cried through that whole epilogue of joy. Oh my gosh. I need to sleep. I have to work in the morning. I borrowed this from the library where I work, and I quite literally don't want to give it back. I will, so the next person can read it, because they deserve to enjoy it too, but like, I need to buy a copy soon. I'm home for my lunch break, and I just all day have been thinking about things we never got over. That epilogue and bonus epilogue just got me. And like, I don't know what happened, but apparently the author had the same experience as I did. Because in her author's note, she wrote that she was dealing with some stuff, and writing the first half of the book, she didn't even realize like what she was writing. She didn't know what this book was going to turn into, and I felt that because the first half of the book I was in, I loved the characters, but I didn't really know where it was going. But then like halfway through, you start learning about the characters and you just get so invested in their lives. And when I made my Goodreads review, or did my little mini review and rating, I saw a lot of people just railing on the book, and I'm like, oh. But for me, I really connected with it. And one of the main themes is dealing with the fear of grief, not even just grief itself, but seeing other people lose people who mean a lot to them and cope with that or not with their grief, and getting this deep fear of getting close enough to anyone for that to happen with horrible grief. So it was a very, very beautifully done character study, and I just fell in love with it, and I'm excited to read the rest of the series. I ate my lunch and watched my episode of Clone Wars, so it's time to start Things We Hide from the Light. Hello, it's 9:40 p.m. I am so tired already, but I am 100 pages into Things We Hide from the Light, and I just love how attached I get to these characters, and I'm so intrigued by the plot, so we'll see where it goes next, but I definitely need to take off my makeup and get some rest. I am feeling very tired. Hello, it's Saturday, and today I thought we'd go out and have a little date with ourselves. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm bringing my book, and we're gonna get some pasta for lunch, and then we're just gonna walk around my downtown area. But I've got she's got a book for every situation, crew neck, and my book and my water. And it's a beautiful time. I'm living my life like I'm in Disneyland with my cute little Mickey shoes. Hey, so it's a few days later. I really am taking way longer to finish this book than I had hoped. This one, Things We Hide from the Light. But the last 50 pages or so have been kind of frustrating with the characters because they're both keeping things from each other that they could talk about. And like, I understand there's a lot of good reasons for it, completely valid reasons for that, but it is a little frustrating to read. And I have a feeling I just need to read like 3 pages and then it will be fine. Or like a chapter, you know that feeling when you've been struggling through 50 pages of a book and then the rest flies by. I think that's what's about to happen. I hope that is, because I am enjoying the book. I just have been a little slumpy the past few days, but I've also been busy and life is crazy, so I just need to give myself some grace and enjoy the book, you know? So let's just sit down and read, okay? Lena, seriously? Why are criminals so stupid? Me. Are they just stupid in this book, or is that actually a thing? Because a lot of the things that the, like, crime lords in these books do seem really, really short-sighted, let's say. Hey, so I think I figured out finally what's been bothering me about this book, and it's the fact that even though Lena's like supposedly a bad girl and Nash is like this goody two-shoes, I feel like halfway through the book it started changing to be the same trope as the first one, and now he's grumpy and she's sunshine somehow, and I'm like, that ain't right. That's not their characters. So it's a little frustrating, but I think we're finally to the point here where they're going back to being themselves, and so it's getting better. And I think it's still really good. I'm still really enjoying the plot, and I enjoy the characters. I just was frustrated with that, like, in the middle, that they started falling into the tropes of the previous book instead of being the characters that I thought I knew. Hi, I just got home from work and I am so ready to just relax and read, and I hope I can actually finish this tonight because it's been taking me way too long. The other thing is that I work full-time, and so I keep noticing that I struggle to split my time when I have a free time available between reading my books and talking about them and editing these videos, because it's really hard to split and have enough time to actually read the books and also edit. So I think that's part of what's making it take so long to finish this book, because I'm reading it and updating you on it and trying to like make sure that I get the video done, and so it's like I'm figuring out the balance, but I love talking about it, so I really want to keep doing these videos. They just might take a little longer, and so I might plan in the future to give myself more time to film reading vlogs, or just cut down and do less books in them or something like that. So I hope that's okay. I'm sure it will be, but I just wanted to kind of explain what's going on as far as like having the time to make these videos, but I love making them, so I'm going to keep doing it. Don't worry. Nox is my favorite character. It's like he starts talking and I'm like, And that might be my issue. Because Nash isn't for me. I'm on page 447. And she's still afraid of the word love. Please. I'm just like, here's the thing. I understand having reservations and having walls and being afraid to be in a relationship. But I get frustrated when people won't admit their own feelings to themselves. It's my pet peeve in romance books, and it happens way too often. But, like, I remember it frustrating me in some Allie Hazelwood books. It's just, I don't like it when they won't admit it to themselves. Because I get it, but I have limited patience for it, let's say. Okay. Confession time. Maybe I was harping on her too hard because I relate to her struggles. Like the way that she's having a hard time talking to her parents about it and being completely transparent with them, I get. So, yeah. Let's just say I can never be a cop. Oh my gosh. This scene, it's like making up for it. Though I do wish that the frustrating part of the book had been shorter, because oh my gosh, so much of this was frustrating, but we're getting the payoff now, and I'm like, oh, why do these books make me cry at this point? It's happening again. The epilogue is getting me. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Why? I was frustrated for half of this book and now I'm sobbing at the epilogue. Why am I like this? Oh my gosh. These bonus epilogues. So great. Oh my gosh. Why? I just... I finished it. How? How was I so frustrated for like this portion of this book, but I ended up loving it? How does that happen? If someone could explain that to me, that would be really nice. Please and thank you, because I think I'm gonna rate this book 4 stars after all of that. I have to. It was so good. The end. I don't know what it is about the epilogue, but both the first one and this one had amazing epilogues with even a bonus epilogue as well. And I just loved it. And I think it just, like, the storyline actually made a lot of sense for the characters, so I'm not actually mad about how it happened. I think I was just frustrated because I wanted more payoff sooner, but that's just my personality. I think I identify more with Naomi from the first one than I do with Lena, and that's okay. But I would love to be Lena's friend, just like Naomi is her friend, so that makes sense. But yeah, I ended up loving it in the end, and I'm so glad I stuck it out and finished this one, even when I was frustrated for the middle bit. But I do think I will read the third one for sure, probably soon-ish, but I'm gonna read a couple fantasy books or something in between. But yeah, I finished it. Can we just talk about the covers of these books real quick as well? Because, like, you look at it and just think, wow, pastel and pretty, that's a romance book. I love that. That would look really cute on my shelf. And then you read it and you understand why the flower on the cover is the one that it is. And you understand the title, and it's just so good because it's so simple, but it packs an emotional punch. I just think the cover designers outdid themselves.
Shannon's being Shannon.
Your like is behind me. That's amazing. Knock 'em Out series. Trilogy series. What? After all of that? If any of the Goose Pond members are watching this, they'll get that.